Hello, good evening, and welcome to Become a Better Man. My name is Tunde Disu, and thank you for being part of today's program. Today, we are starting to look at a different topic, and we're looking at the tendency for us to give up on ourselves, give up on our dreams, give up on life, give up on relationships, give up on our careers, give up on everything, anything, everything. Giving up is not an option. Giving up, it is not an option. It's not an option that we should consider. It's not an option that we should think about. Because there's always a way out. There is always another way. There is always an alternative. There is always a different way, a different means. There is always an answer. Giving up, it's not an option that we should ever consider. Now, I know that's a very strong statement, but the truth of the matter is, irrespective of how tough, how difficult, how challenging, how impossible it might seem, there is always a way out. There is always an answer. There is always a breakthrough. There is always an avenue, an alternative, a different approach, a different perspective, a change in mind. Somehow, somewhere, by miracle, by chance, by whatever it is, there is always a way out. There is always a solution. There is always a solution. So giving up is definitely not an option. Now, does that mean life is a bed of roses? No. Does that mean life is without challenges? Absolutely not. Does that mean we will not come across something that seemingly is overwhelming? Oh, definitely we will. But even in the face of the most difficult, the seemingly most impossible situation, there is always a way out. Irrespective of how dark the cloud may be, there is always a silver lining somewhere. There is always a light at the end of this dark tunnel. And I can assure you, it's not a train coming towards you. Whatever it is we want to achieve in life, no matter how well we plan, how much we want it, there will always be a challenge. There will always be a period when our resolve is tested, when our conviction is questioned, when our determination is shaken, when what we stand for or what we confess is being questioned, is being queried, when life will throw you a curveball just to see how you react, just to see how much you really want what you say you want. There is always a challenge when your motivation will be tested, when your conviction will come face to face against a brick wall, as it were, when you come to almost the end of yourself, and when you say to yourself, I've given it everything. I can't go any further. I cannot do any more of this. I've had enough of this. But that is the time to say to yourself, giving up is not an option. Because you see, those that win in life, they never give up. And those that give up in life, they never win. And if our goal, our target, our aim is to become the best that we are destined to be, to become better than we were yesterday, to become better than we were 2 years ago, if the goal is forward ever, backward never, if our mindset is to continuously make progress, take new territory, achieve new grades, then giving up is not an option. Now, we all at one point or the other in our lives will have those feelings of doubt, of fear, of lack of self-confidence, of questioning yourself, of doubting yourself, of lack of self-belief. But you see, just because they come, just because we encounter them, it's not enough for us to give up. In fact, those are signs, those are symptoms, those are indications that we are heading in the right direction. You see, the urge to stop doing something before you finish is always very hard. It's always there. It's always staring you in the face. It's always knocking on your door. Usually because you feel this is too difficult. Usually because you think I've come to the end of myself. Usually because you think I can't take this anymore. Usually because you have, in truth, given it all of your best shot. But you see, just because you are at that point is an indication, it's a confirmation. It makes it obvious that you've come too far to go back, and you've come too close to your destination than to give up now. You see, the feeling, the fluctuating feeling that stirs our relationships, when you are one day up, tomorrow you are down, when you are always in between giving and taking, compromising and understanding and all of that, which really is the wheel that keeps every relationship going. That same fluctuating feeling is similar to what we have when our motivation is being challenged, when our resolve is being questioned, when the meaning of what we want, what we need, what we're striving is being queried. And because you don't usually give up on your relationship because of the fluctuating feelings that you have, it's the same conviction of the heart that you must have to say, this too will pass. This too will pass. All that is required to start anything is a little passion, a little enthusiasm, a little nudge in your spirit to say, you know what, I think I can do this. I believe I am made for this. I am convinced beyond every reasonable doubt that this is my lane. But you see, it is not just the starting. It is maintaining that momentum. It is keeping the fire burning under that passion. It is the ability to keep on going when the road is rough or when there's no road at all. But you see, it is the sustained perseverance and consistency that will take you through till you come to your destination. When difficult times come, when the challenges of life are shaking you, when the essence of your person is being queried, maybe in your relationships, maybe in your career, maybe in your ministry, maybe in your calling, maybe with your children, maybe with your health or your finance or whatever it is, wherever in your life that you face this challenge, this temptation to throw your hands up and say, you know what, I'm out of here, I've had enough. All it takes, all that is required is to say to yourself, tough times don't last, but tough people do. Tough times, they don't last. I said to people, I said, the whirlwinds of life, the challenges of life, they are like the waves of the sea. It will bubble up, bubble up, rumble up, bubble up, rumble and rise, and then it will die down. But if while it is rising and bubbling, you accept that as the ultimate, and you stop swimming, you stop paddling your canoe, you stop pushing yourself, you will come out alive. When difficult times, when they do stop you in your track, when you come face to face, bang against the wall, as it were, when the last breath, the last energy, the last sinew in you, when they start to almost at the breaking point, that's the time for you to say, no, I am not giving up. That's the time for you to push through. That's the time for you to learn and understand that whatever it is that is causing you to almost want to give up, it's only an attempt to demotivate you. That's the time for you to consider and examine what is your mindset in this situation. What attitude are you displaying? What is going through your mind? What are you telling yourself about the challenge that you are dealing with, that you are going through, that you are encountering? What are you saying to yourself? Because you see, one of the best ways to come out of any challenge, one of the best source of energy and strength, is what you say to yourself. It's what you say about the situation. It's your mindset and your attitude in the midst of it that will determine whether you come out or not, or how long you stay in that position. You need to push yourself. You need to learn and understand that these too will pass away. You need to say to yourself, this is not the end of me. There is more to me than this. And giving up is not an option. When you do that, you will come out on the other side. Irrespective of how tough you are, irrespective of how strong you are, irrespective of how bold and courageous you are, we will all at one point or another in our lives come face to face with something that's seemingly bigger than us, something that's seemingly more challenging and almost going to swallow us. But you see, what you need to do, what I need to do, what we need to do is to use that as a cue for self-motivation, to not consider giving up, to remember and remind yourself that life's challenges, they are completely normal. They're not peculiar to you. It is applicable to everybody at different times, at different levels, in different sizes, and in different ways. All you have to do, all I have to do, is for us to look that challenge straight in the eyes and say, do you know what? You've met your match. Throw your best punch. Because this man here, this woman here, I'm not giving up. I'm not going anywhere. And I can assure you, I will be the last man or the last woman standing. Despite the temptation to want to give up in the face of life issues and the challenges of life, that is actually the most important time, the best time not to give up. When you think, when you feel, when you come to a point where you almost can't remember your own name, that is the time to say, you're not going to trick me out of this, because I can smell my breakthrough. I can almost touch the end of my strength. I can almost come to the point that I set out to arrive at from the beginning. Therefore, I'm not going to give up. I am not going to give up. I am not going to give up. You see, every of life challenges is only for one reason and one reason alone. Is to question who you are. Is to question who you are. Is to question what you are made of. Is to challenge your resolve, your determination, your makeup, your who are you? Because you see, life is very peculiar and very, very specific about who to hand itself over to surrender to. Life wants to be sure that you have what it takes. Life wants to be sure that you are who you say you are, that you are capable of handling life. And until that is established, until that is confirmed, on the altar of trials and tribulations and challenges and uphill tasks and some life-threatening issues, life is not going to just let you walk all over it. So when you are facing that situation, when you find yourself at that junction, you've got to ask yourself, why do I want to give up? What is making me consider giving up as an option? You see, identifying the reason why you want to give up is perhaps one of the most important decision, one of the most important realization that you can come to. Because there are many reasons why people want to give up. But when you look deep under each of those reasons, there are different motivations and different reasons and different ideas and different situations underneath it. But you see, that's what it is. They are under it, not over it. And so for as long as you see them under, you can always go over. Life will challenge you, but it's not enough for you to become overwhelmed. Why do people consider giving up? These are some of the reasons why people will choose the path of giving up, will decide that that's it, I can't do this anymore, will come to a point where they feel there's nothing left to give. One of the reasons why people choose to give up is because they mistake lessons for failure. When you mistake lessons of life for failure in life, you will give up on whatever it is that you're being challenged with. You see, not being able to see the roadblock for the lesson that it is will stop you from keeping going, will stop you from moving forward, will stop you from even attempting to take the next step. When in actual fact, it's not a roadblock, it's a classroom. It is an opportunity for you to learn a lesson. So when you mistake the lessons of life as the end of the road, as failure in life, as that's it, I'm out, then you will give up. When in actual fact, you might just be one strike, one step, one word, one phone call, one smile, one handshake away from your breakthrough. Another reason why people give up easily is because they assume, they say to themselves that the outcome is more important than the journey. And that's not true. The outcome is great. Oh, wonderful. You want to stand on top of Mount Everest and put your name on it and put your flag on it and say, I've conquered this. And you want to be able to say, today I am graduating from this degree. Today I am breaking through in this area. Today is my day of achievement. Those are great outcomes and finality and destinations. But you see, they are not as important as the journey. They are not. It is not what you achieve that's important. It is not what you become that is great. It is who you have to become in the process, on the journey of achieving that. That is what will last the most. And that is why if your goal is to say you want to have your first degree and you put all your effort and you study, you attend lectures, you do the assignment, you put in the this and that, and then on the graduation day they hand you your certificate. If your focus is on the certificate, after it is handed to you, you're going to look at it and say, so after all of that, you see, the destination is great, don't get me wrong, but it's not as important as who you have to become, the adjustments you have to make in the journey, the discipline that you have to take on board, the contact you have to make, the compromises that you have to give, the sacrifice that you have along the way. Those will mature you, they will improve you, they will add more value to you than when you get to the end. Because by the time you get to the end, now you've achieved it, then what? Putting more emphasis on the end result and dismissing the importance of how you are going to get to the end of the goal is one of the biggest reasons why people give up. Because they look at the end and say, oh, it's too far, it's too high, it's too big, it's too this, it's too that. When in actual fact, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey and how you travel on that path of life and become and achieve and add to yourself and mature and become. That's what's more important. Another reason why people will give up is because they see the failure before it even happens. They see the failure before it's even in their sight. Why would you give up on yourself before you even try? Why would you not at least give life one big punch to see what comes out of it? But you see, a lot of people self-sabotage themselves by creating the thoughts in their mind that, oh, this is not for people like us. You know, people that looks like us, people that come from a kind of place, people with a type of background, people that stand that tall like us or short or fat or whatever it is you put in the equation. When you see the failure before it happens, I don't care who is on your side, you will give up. You will not achieve it because all you can see is the inadequacies, the shortcomings, the failures, even though they're just a pigment of your imagination. Another reason why people will give up is because they lack discipline. People, generally, human beings, we are, majority of human beings are lazy. We lack discipline. We lack self-discipline. We know what we want. In most cases, we know what is required to get it. But we lack the commitment, the dedication, the discipline, the consistency, the ruggedity to get it done. You see, realizing your dream, achieving your purpose, becoming who you want to become, or dream to become, or desire to become, or achieve whatever it is in your sight, it will not just fall on your lap. And it will not just happen like that. It will not even happen tomorrow. You have to give it time. You have to give it focus. You have to give it strength. You have to put yourself to it. Discipline. It takes hard work and determination and consistency and conviction of the heart to achieve anything good in life. Nothing good comes easy, according to Bob Marley. Another reason why people will give up easily and just jack it in and throw in the towel is because they fail to adjust to the changes along the path, along the journey. No journey in life is a straight line. No. It will turn, it will bend, it will come to a roundabout, it will go up the hill, it will come down the valley, it will come to a traffic light, it will come to traffic, it will stop, it will refuel. That is what life is all about. And if you are not able to adjust yourself to those changes on the journey, in the way, in the process, you get frustrated and you'll give up. I can't be doing with all these traffic lights. Come on. I've got place to go. But without the traffic light, you won't go anywhere because there will be a gridlock. Because everybody will come at the same time to the intersection, and then it's a standstill. Oh, I don't like this road. It's too windy. It's just going round and round. Yes, it's going round and round because there are hills and mountains and rivers and villages and houses along the way that the road has to meander through. So by you not adjusting, not prepared to adjust to the changes on the journey, will cause you to give up. By not embracing changes or the need to tweak even your ideas and your plan, to evolve it, to make it pliable to the different terrains that you will go through, those are some of the reasons why people will give up, because they are stuck. Most people are just stuck with their original idea, the way they see it, and if it's not along that path, if it doesn't look like it, if it doesn't quack like it, then they'll give up. People who are not prepared to adjust to the changes along the journey by not accepting that they are not meant to work out the way you expect them. You see, you and I can only see as far as the wall in front of us. One of the things my wife will say to me all the time, if when I'm going out, I'm going to London or going to Dartford or traveling somewhere, and she will say, "Have you checked traffic?" I said, "No, it's all right, I'll be fine." She said, "No, the road is not just going to be there just for you. There are other road users. You must check so that you can make adequate plans, so that you can prepare yourself for the changes that the life will throw at you, so that you can be equipped that when those challenges come, when those issues are facing you, you won't give up because you've already programmed your mind that they're going to be there, because that's life. It's inevitable. It is going to be there. So by you not accepting that things are not just going to be a straight line the way you see them, the moment they turn left or it turns to the right, you want to give up. Some people give up because they refuse to adjust to changes by not being open, not being open to alternatives, not being open to other ideas. Some people are so locked down in their mindset that they can't see what is right in front of their noses. They forget that there are natural evolutions that will happen of something that could be even more amazing, more challenging, more resourcing, more beautiful along the way. But if you are a one-way traffic person, the moment that one way is blocked and there are issues along the way, you're going to give up. Giving up is not an option. And I need us to address that in our hearts tonight. That one of the beauty of life is that it's unpredictable. The unpredictability of life is one of the beauty of life. Most people will say to you that the moment that they are just about the time they were about to give up was the moment that their breakthrough came, was the moment that they have the breakthrough, was the moment that they got the answer, was the moment that they received the news, was the moment that something they have been waiting for will happen. So why would you give up on yourself? Why would you give up on yourself? I remember in my own personal life, there was a time I nearly gave up. Thank God for my wife and my brother-in-law. Because after we got engaged, my wife came to England, and for about 5 years, we didn't see each other. And over that period, I tried to come even on a visit to the UK, and I was denied visa. So at the point, I said, you know what, it's not worth troubling. I'll just stay in Nigeria. People live there, and all of that. Then one day, my brother-in-law said, look, why don't you try one more time? No, I've had enough of that. No, just give it one more shot. Cut the long story short. It's been over 23 years now. What am I saying? I was at a point where I just thought, forget it. Yeah, I could have lived, I could have been in Nigeria and still be in Nigeria, and I'll be doing great, don't get me wrong. But you see, it got to a point where I was at the point of giving up, but that was as close as I was to what I have been waiting for, believing for, praying for, desiring in my heart. Don't give up on yourself. Demotivation, failure, and giving up, it feels horrible when you do them. When you are demotivated, when you feel a sense of failure, when you give up on yourself, there is a sour taste that is left in your mouth. There is a feeling, a down feeling that you feel on the inside when you give up on yourself. And the reason you feel that way, the reason that taste is left in your mouth, the reason you become so demoralized to even look at yourself in the mirror is because you know in your knower that inside of you got what it takes to break through. But instead of putting your back to it, you throw in the towel. And a lot of people never ever recover from that sense of self-sabotaging, of self-defeat, of giving up on themselves. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself, on your marriage, on your spouse, on your children, on your career, on your dreams, on your aspiration, on your calling, your ministry, on yourself, on your finances, on your health. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Before you give up, think twice. Before you give up, think twice about giving up, because the power lies with your mindset, and shifting this is the key to keeping up the motivation you need when the going gets tough. When you find yourself at that juncture, at that point, at that place, at that moment when you say, get me out of here, I'm a celebrity, I've had enough. Just before you make that decision, think twice. Because within you, inside of you, there is enough power, there is enough strength, there is enough wisdom, there is enough courage for you to get to your place, even in the face of the tough situation, if only you will address your thinking and your mindset. Before you give up, think twice. Because the truth is, many of us have been lied to over the years. Instant success is a myth. Quick money is a myth. Immediate gratification is one of the worst things that you can do to yourself, because it will rob you of the longevity, of the benefits and the profits that you can reap down the road. Before you give up, think twice, because it is a generation of instant gratification that has created this illusion that everyone needs what they want and they want what they need right now. Don't give up on yourself. People have the tendency of looking at successful people, of envying successful people, of admiring successful people, and assuming that they just woke up one morning and voila, they are successful. Before you judge a man's product, it will be good for you to check his factory. Before you start admiring a man's output, maybe you should go back and study his input, his discipline, his consistency, his resolve not to give up. Because it is easy for us to think the rich people just woke up one morning and money just started flowing out of their veins and all of that. No, it didn't happen that way. They too they came face to face with the challenges of life, but they said, no, I'm not giving up. A lot of people never bother to even see the journey, the track record, the road, the pathway that these successful people have traveled. All we see is their destination. All we see is their flamboyancy. Don't fall in love with that. Because behind that glamour, that glistering, behind that show of affluence and wealth, that's a lot of sleepless nights, hard work, a lot of compromise, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of discipline behind it. Having said that, don't let the journey and the price you have to pay, don't let that deter you, because there is no amount of word in the Oxford English Dictionary, and every other dictionary out there to describe the joy of achievement. But there is nothing more important than the values that you add to yourself in the journey towards your goal, towards your breakthrough. People give up because they judge themselves so harshly and they assume that, oh, I don't have what it takes. It's not for people like me. No, 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 no. The fact that somebody can do it, somebody has done it, should be a motivation to say, I can do it too. They've got one head, I have one head. They've got two hands, I have two hands. They've got two eyes, I've got two eyes. I just need to find out how to do it. I just need to pay the price of discipline to get it done. Before you give up, open up and change your perspective. Before you make that decision of giving up, just stay, just hold the brake, just slam on the brake pedal and change your perspective. Ask yourself, are there other ways to do this? Are there other means to achieve this? Is there an alternative idea that can get this done? Because if you give up without considering other opportunities, other avenues, other ways, other options, if you give up, you will always, always, forever live in the land of what if? What if? What if I didn't give up? What if I just try one more time? What if I just did not open my mouth? What if I just send that letter? What if I just make that phone call? What if I just knock on that door? And that sense of what if is more painful. The torture, the agony of what if is more painful than any discipline and sacrifice that you could have paid without giving up. Just imagine, before you give up on yourself, before you give up, just imagine, just ask yourself, just travel, just have a time travel into your future and imagine what your future will look like if you didn't give up, if you didn't let the present circumstance and the present situation to discourage you, to knock you off your track and slam you against the wall. Just imagine what your life will look like if you just push through, if you just endure, if you will just push, if you will just hold your teeth and just push one more time. If you've ever been in a labor room, in a delivery ward, when the woman is screaming and in excruciating pain, and the midwife is saying, just push one more time, just push one more time, and she's like, I don't have any more strength. And the midwife is saying, come on, you can do this. And then, in the next 5 minutes, the baby is delivered. That same woman is smiling, laughing, happy. But imagine if she refused to push that one more time. If you refuse to just give it one more go. When you are tempted to give up, have a time travel experience. Look down the line and see where your life will be in 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years' time. If you will just pay that simple price of not giving up right now. Just before you give up, say to yourself, what if I'm quitting right before your success? Most people give up when they're just about another step away from their success. It has been said that the darkest part of the night is just before the dawn breaks. The toughest times of life, they are precursor to major breakthroughs and success in life. And when it's like this pain is unbearable, I can't do this no more. Think of it this way, that this is my final test. This is the final hurdle. This is the final step that I need to take. Imagine how far I've traveled. Imagine where I started from, when I started. And now I am just one step away. I'm not going to give up on myself. Because like I said, all life is trying to establish is, do you really want this? Are you sure you really, really want this? Have you earned this? And that's the time for you to look at life and say, you bet. I've come this far and I ain't giving up right now. Because I can smell it, I can taste it, I can feel it, I can touch it. That my breakthrough is within grasp. Do you find yourself quitting a lot of things? You start and you just let it go. You start and you just let it go. Or you start with a lot of enthusiasm and all the bells and whistles, and then gradually. I had a friend years ago. Very good, very, very, very smart man. But the problem with him is he gives up easily. Work, after a few months, I just don't like that one anymore. Relationship, oh yeah, and the next thing, oh no, I think I'll just be by myself. Education, I need to get my degree. I need to finish this. And before you know it, is that you? Is that you? Do you find yourself quitting things a lot? Starting and not finishing? It could just be an habitual mindset that you have cultivated and developed over time. But you see, the beauty of having a mind is that you can change it. The beauty of you having that mindset is that it is your mind and you set it. You can unset it and release your mind to do otherwise. The way you think, the way you see things, the way you imagine, the way you process, you can change all of that. But it would start with you identifying that this is a pattern in your life. And usually people like that will say to themselves, like my friend will say, oh, don't worry, I'll pick that up in 3 months' time. Oh, it's all right, I will reconcile. Oh, I'm sure I'll get another job very soon. But you see, it's not about what is going to happen very soon, or that you will pick it up, or that you will finish it. It's the fact that even when you pick it up, you're going to drop it again. Because it's a mindset. What you need to do is to sit down and have fellowship with yourself and speak to yourself and talk to yourself and speak to your mind and converse with yourself. Search deep down on the inside of you. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be easy. But you know what? It's worth it. It is worth it. It will help you to walk through those limiting beliefs, those self-sabotaging mindsets that has built a pattern in your life of starting and not finishing, of giving up easily. Before you give up, remember, your struggles does not equate your failure. The fact that you are struggling, the fact that you are contending with it, the fact that it is challenging you, the fact that it is shaking you, does not make you a failure. Most people, the whole world, we've been taught that if you are struggling with anything, it's a sign of failure and you should be ashamed of yourself. That's not true. The world has been trained to think if you are struggling, then it depicts a negative representation of who you are. No, that's not true. Never think of hard times as failure. Never consider struggles as failures. Because even gold has to go through the refinery's fire before it comes out shining and become the envy of the world. Stop worrying yourself about what other people think or what they would say or how they would say. It's your life. It's my life. And we've only got this one. We don't have a spare one somewhere to pick up and start all over. The truth is, struggle sometimes, in most cases, is a character builder. Struggle builds character. It helps you to fine-tune what is important, what are your priorities, what is valuable. So stop assuming that struggle is a negative thing because you can't see the blessing in it. No. If you look properly, maybe you need to go to Specsavers. If you look properly, you can see and you will see that in the midst of the so-called struggle are the blessings of life hidden. So, if we're saying don't give up, by default we're saying be motivated, be energized, be encouraged. You see, most people tend to forget that when you're at the point of giving up, when you think, well, this is a failure, this is failed, I'm a failure or whatever, at that point you must remind yourself that giving up doesn't fix anything. All it does is it kicks the can down the road. It'll be waiting for you at the bottom of the valley. Now, you may for a moment feel, that pressure is off. But no, you just pay it forward. And it'll be waiting for you. Except that by the time you meet it, it's now got its cousins, its children, its nephews, and all its village people all around it. It's now bigger. whatever it is your goal is, whatever your goal is, whatever your dream, your destination, whatever it is you want to achieve, maybe you want to stop smoking, you want to stop drinking, you want to become a better person, a better husband, a better wife, or whatever it is, whatever you are experiencing right now, if you don't deal with it, break it back, and conquer it now, it will only come back in a bigger size. The real challenge in every struggle in life is not the size or the magnitude or the strength of the challenge that we're facing. The real issue when you are faced with challenge is the revelation of your strength or your weakness just manifesting itself in a physical form. But what you do with it and about it is the key. How you see it, how you approach it, how you engage it will determine what comes out of it. Whatever challenge that you and I are facing, the truth is, a time will come when you're, I don't care how optimistic you are, that optimism will be challenged. It will be shaken. Your dedication will be questioned. Your willpower will be thrown out of the window. But the real issue that you must address is yourself. 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 Because if you can manage yourself, every other thing will fall in line. When you are faced with a major issue, a big challenge, an obstacle, whatever it is, one of my friends said something to me, I think it was last year or 2 years ago. He used to be in the military. And he said one of the trainings they gave them, especially being in the special squad, is when you come face to face with a challenge, he said that the only way to overcome is either you're going to go around it, you're going to go over it, or you're going to go through it. Either you're going to go around it, you're going to go over it, or you're going to go through it. He said, but 8 times, 9 times out of 10, the best option is to go through it. The best option is to go through it. Many people, they recognize the weaknesses in their lives. And instead of going through it and dealing with it, they adjust all the other aspects of their lives to fit in with that weakness. They start to nurture and nurse and pamper that weakness. And guess what? When you nurture it, when you pamper it, when you attend to it, when you feed it, it will grow. It will grow. It will continue to grow. The key is, whatever the challenge you and I are facing, the key is to find a way of breaking it down into bite sizes, into smaller chunks, into manageable sizes. Break it down. Break it down into sizes that are manageable, that are chewable, that you can handle, you can put in your pocket, that you can take with you, rather than trying to carry the whole weight about with you. It may seem impossible when you look at the situation. It may seem like there's no way out. But if you are able to break it down and break it into, somebody said, how do you eat an elephant? How do you eat a whole elephant? Simple. One bite at a time. One bite at a time. One bite at a time. Then one day you get there and there'll be nothing left of the elephant. It may seem like it's the hardest thing for you to go through, but trust me, with every knock, with every hammer, with every chisel, with every scrape, with every push of it, you're gaining ground. You're moving the challenge. You're breaking it down. You're reducing its power. You're reducing its ability to intimidate you. Never give up. Never, ever, ever give up. I like what the Bible says is that what the Bible said, that no temptation that comes upon a man that is unique. It happens to everybody. But there's always a way out. Because God will not allow you to be tempted beyond the deposit that is already in you to deal with that challenge. All you have to do, all I have to do, all we have to do is to reach deep into our arsenal, is to reach deep into our being and pull out the solution and pull out the answer and refuse to be defeated. Refuse to let life take itself out of your grasp. No. Because you have what it takes. I have what it takes. We have what it takes. If only we will just change our mindset, have a different perspective, look at it differently, believe in who we are and what we are, because within yourself, you are more than able. You are more capable. You are more suitable. You are more ready than you can even think or you can believe. But when the challenges of life knock on your door, bang, 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 that's not the time to hide under the table. That's not the time to lock the door, turn the key, lock the door, and run under the bed. No. That's the time to pull yourself up and say, bring it on. This is my house. This is my territory. I'm not prepared. I'm not even planning to let you go, to let you in. So do your best, because I will be the last man standing. No giving up. Don't give up on yourself. Please, don't give up on yourself. If you refuse to give up on yourself, everything else around you will rally around and support you. Everything else. Even life itself will bow down and pay homage when you refuse to give up on yourself. When you refuse to give up on life. When you refuse to throw in the towel. When you refuse to abandon the voyage. In closing, we have a destination. There's a place that has been set for us. There's a purpose for our lives. There's a reason for our calling. There is an agenda that must be fulfilled, that we must accomplish, that must be delivered. And giving up is not, it's not an option. because there's so much waiting on us. There is so much hanging on us. There is so much investment in you and I that we cannot fail to deliver. Not on my watch, not on your watch. And together we will stand shoulder to shoulder. We will stand together. And we will not give up. We will not cave in. We will not throw in the towel. We will not let go until we arrive at that destination where every man and every woman will have no choice but to declare that truly these are better men and better women. Thank you for your time tonight. I hope something from tonight's program has challenged you, has really hit you between the eyes, as it were, and make you want to become better, and make you want to go that extra mile, and make you want to take that next step, want to continue, want to rediscover your enthusiasm, your passion, your vision. Refuse to give up on yourself, on your goal, on your life, on your family. Because every fight is worth it. Please, if you have not shared this program for this tonight's program, I'm begging you, just click the share button now and share it so that others can hear about it. Next week, we're going to continue this same line of thought. We're going to be looking at, among others, this big rock that we're talking about. How do I start to break it down? What are the tools? What are the ways? What are the means? What are the strategies of breaking it down so that it's now at easy to handle, easy to manage sizes? And I can't wait for next week. So until then, this is Tunde this week again saying, don't give up, because there's a better man and a better woman in you. Let's go and discover that. I'll see you again next week. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.